What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. I've been really crazy busy lately, if you haven't noticed. And so I haven't been able to make a proper celebration for Godzilla King of the Monsters 4th anniversary. So instead, what I decided to do was a bit of a throwback. I wanted to celebrate that film by going back into the past and looking at our good friends, the motion capture actors who brought to life Godzilla and King Ghidorah. So I've put together a compilation or a highlights reel of my favorite moments from the 2019 Anime Matsuri Godzilla King of the Monsters panel. That was an incredible time. If anybody involved in that is watching, anybody from Anime Matsuri or the Ghidorah brothers or TJ or anybody, that weekend left more of an impression on me than you will ever know, and I am eternally thankful for it. Huge shout out to Anime Matsuri for bringing me out. It was the best time ever. So please enjoy the panel.
Hi there, my name is Richard Dorton, and I play the left head of King Ghidorah, aka Kevin.
Hello, I'm Jason Liles, and I play the center head of King Ghidorah and a little bit of Rodan as well.
And I'm Maxson, and I play the right head of King Ghidorah. No other.
Hi, my name is TJ Storm. I play the tail of... Wait, that's not right. I play Godzilla.
So did you guys like the movie? So we are all creature actors and monster performers, but King Ghidorah and Godzilla was brought to life with motion capture. We wear the suit, we create the movement for the characters, and they drop the animated version of that character on top of our skeleton. So that's basically how we brought King Ghidorah to life. We weren't in suits, practical suits like the predecessors before us, but this new technology, that's what we use to bring these creatures to life.
Between all four of us, with motion capture, performance capture, makeup, suits, prosthetics, all of it, I don't know, what would you guys say? Probably over 200 different creatures we've all played combined.
Oh yeah. If you have 100, then definitely overcome a couple hundred.
But because of you and bringing attention to what we do and being such big fans and like that, it has brought us to the forefront, and people recognize us and are giving us proper credit finally after all these years. So we want to thank you for, without you we wouldn't be here. So thank you for that.
I got a fun story. There was once where, I don't remember which of the days it was, but one of them, Mike, the director, had brought his dog in. And it was during the scene where all of us are mad. We have Ghidorah, we're ready to fight. Godzilla is charging at us, and I think we're like snarling, and we might have been crawling. We were crawling and snarling, and we're getting ready to attack. And we were so convincing that the animal instincts of Mike's dog kicked in. And I was so grateful that somebody had the dog on a leash at the moment, because that thing was lunging and he would have charged if that was not held on to. It was the nicest dog ever, and the moment we stopped, he stopped too, but we definitely tapped into attack mode for him. And he was ready to defend himself against 4 giant humans being monsters. So that was a fun moment on set, for sure.
The process for us, it worked really fast. So we didn't work on the movie for 48 days like some of the actors, in the big scenes.
Because we're so good, we're one take wonders.
Yeah, it was really cool because it was just a few days where it was just like scene, and they had the big screen in there. We would watch it and like for 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds and be like, okay, that's the Godzilla movie. Now we act that out for fun and get paid to do it, and that's going to go in the movie. Okay, this is ridiculous. And you have the visual effects supervisor there who won an Oscar for Life of Pi, overshared. So you're like, this is going to look flippin' amazing. And Mike Doherty just directing us like a kid who has action figures that are our size and just telling us to smash into each other and being like, you do A, B, C, D, and like, when those two heads are up against the building and the center head's trying to release them from the web everything, and then sees Godzilla coming and turns around and we get pushed through boxes on the mats, and we're like, ah, and everything, and get up, and I see like the lightning here, and I'm like, ah, and then he goes flying back onto another mat. It was just kids.
We did have a cardboard box buildings.
Yeah.
We built boxes.
Yeah. We just smashed each other into them, and then like, great, okay, let's watch the next scene.
There's a scene where TJ had me by the horns and smashes me into a building. And since I don't have horns in it, what we worked out was TJ was just like, I'll put my fist on your head and you smash it yourself. And so it's that kind of stuff that we did to bring the force and the momentum of it without actually having horns and things to grab onto. And so there's little tricks like that that we did that were just tidbits for how we did the motion capture.
Oh, there was a funny moment. A couple people came by I talked about earlier. So something happens. So no spoilers, just whatever. Something happens to the left hand, and at a certain point in the movie, something happens. And the director was like, yeah, so like kind of help him through as something happens. And kind of help through that. I was like, okay, I don't really know what to. Yeah, I didn't know what to do. And then the second he's like, I don't know, kind of like buy that stuff and kind of clean him, you know. And I was like, cleaning him. Okay, cool. And so it was literally a lot of like him kind of doing it, and I'm just like. and it was really, and I was committed. I was like, we're rolling. I gotta like, you know, make this look real, I guess. And the director's like, cut. Yeah, do it again, and just Jason, just not like, maybe don't lick him. I was like, yeah, you said lick. He's like, yeah, it was weird though. And I was like, I just committed. All right, no licking. And then we were watching the movie, like, yeah, he didn't leave any of the licking in. Okay, didn't make it into the movie, just fighting. So there were a lot of funny moments of just like, let's try this and see what works.
Yeah, and you hear that off his mouth, and your eyes are closed because I'm trying to regenerate, right? And then I'm like, I look, and then you hear Michael go, Richard, close your eyes! You know, I'm like, you have to grow it first before you realize. You know, I mean, so it was a lot of that, and you're hearing that. What is he doing?
And it was cool because now the three of us sat like this in Legendary's offices in the little screening room, watching, and like, oh, high-fiving. And then TJ hadn't seen anything. And he came on set, so when we watched those scenes, like, oh yeah, it's that scene. And TJ was like, what? Are you serious? Oh my gosh, we get to do what? Like, so it was cool to watch him be like, yeah, right? Oh, wait till what comes up in the next shot. So it was cool to watch him, and then we played it out. We got to all play it out together, like monsters on the carpet, like when the parents go on like a date at night, like we have to move all the stuff out of the furniture, all the furniture out of the living room, and just tackle each other. But we're grown men, adults doing it professionally.
Speak for yourself.
65-year-old characters.
Did any of you guys see Godzilla 2014?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they called me. They're like, "Hey, could you come down and do work with some of the creature stuff?" And I'm not here. You're freaking me out. And so I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll come down." And I teach movement, a certain kind of acting. So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go down and help the people move." That's literally what I thought I was gonna do. So I got down to the place. And I walked into the place, and it was me and two other guys. And my friend turned to us, and he goes, "You're Muto number 1, you're Muto number 2, and you're Godzilla." And I was like, and that's how I found out that I was Godzilla. And then we started shooting, and that was the first one. And then we got to come back, and that's a whole other story for the second one. There's a company in LA called Fonco, and they built, for this King of the Monsters, they built this beautiful tail. And it fit on me really, really well. And when you walk, it goes, it's really, really nice. So it helped me get into character, and we got to play. And some of these guys, I think just to practice, they got to wear weights on their legs to make a heavy whoosh. They eventually took the weights off, but at first, they had to wear weights on their feet. And oh man, that is unpleasant at first, but pretty soon they learned how to move together, and it looked so wicked when they started moving together. You guys should talk about how you started being tied, and then you figured out that it was better.
We had tied Alan's left ankle to my right ankle. and Richard's right ankle to my left ankle.
It was like
So
potato sack race.
it was like, yeah, it was one of those like rally races, like father and son or something, and like and it wasn't working because we didn't know when we were trying to be like and right and left and
It was
right.
too
It just wasn't working.
because
Yeah.
it was like forced metronome.
But we were trying to sit together as much as possible, and it wasn't working. We were kind of like, because we didn't know when someone was stopping and starting, and so eventually we just forgot that. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, I feel like we
fell into it quickly.
We very quickly did, yeah. And then just looking opposite, just looking TJ in the eye, and all of us being like, let's kill each other. It was just so much
What
fun.
did it feel like when all of us were looking at you, ready to fight? Were you intimidated, or did you know? Because we go full on.
It's 3 grown men wearing pajamas. But in your imagination, you can see them and they're doing all the stuff. I mean, and the cool thing is, he does this royal flair. He would used to do this with his wings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Here he goes again. Here he goes. This man's
our intimidation.
He'd drop his head and get low at the same time, and I was like, which one are we supposed to look at? It was awesome.
We could kind of show them what that would look like.
Do it! Do it!
I'm getting up, so if you don't get up, you guys are just jerks.
There's something like, and if TJ's like 5 or 6 steps up the middle stairs there.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Jason, you were licking, you guys are grabbing each other. Godzilla, did the dragon, just mess it with you too, or what?
There was no licking. Some tackling. I got bit a lot. Tackled a little bit.
Yeah, there was a really cool scene, and I'd forgotten about it until we got to the movie, where they're stuck against the building, and Mothra has webbed them and stuck them against the building, and they're trying to get free. And I remember rushing them and slamming into them, and we went through a bunch of boxes. And then and then we forgot about it, and then you get to the movie, and you can see that the building is all reflective, and you can see Godzilla's reflection coming towards him, and you can see him going, and it's really cool. It was really, really cool to watch. It's so exciting to relive that, especially as a fan, when you're sitting there and you're just cheering for it.
By the time we saw the movie, we were like, oh yeah, just remember this, yeah! Oh yeah! Like, and we were just, because we'd forgotten so much stuff. There was just 3 days of like, no, next thing. It's like, I don't even remember everything that happens. And it was like, oh yeah, Mike, I gotta tell that something that we dodged. And, that's so cool. And it was, we're just huge, as you can tell, we're huge fans. Huge fans.
We want to collect
Just
our
want
own
to see it
action.
again right now.
That's the kind of like fans we are. We're like, when we see the merch that you guys see, we're like, where'd you buy that? I think I've actually asked other people on Twitter, like, oh, look at this new figure. It's so cool. I go, awesome. Can you send me a link? Because I want to buy one too. So I want to tell a story you guys have heard before of spitting. I did one job. It was for a film called The Woods by Sugar Prince 7. They're like a YouTube channel. And they did, some people know it. I played Creature in that. Did you see that? You ever clapped? No? Okay. Well, there's a monster in it. And there's a scene where, right before I take, they just filled them up with blood. And they wanted me to, like, claw the guy's neck and snarl. And they wanted blood to fling everywhere. So I had it in there. And then I waited 15 minutes, which is a long time to hold stuff in your mouth. Your saliva grows. So there was more saliva than blood at this point. And I'm ready to go. Finally get to it. They call, all right, action. And I slash his throat and snarl. But the actor who, when I slashed him, rightfully so, he's like screaming, ah! The blood goes not anywhere on him, but directly. And it was great because as soon as they called cut, I was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, it's okay, it was a good take. And that's the one they used in the movie. Well, Richard and I played another
Oh, that's true. Oh, that is true. That is true.
So at the end, bowing to the king, the true king. Jason portrayed Rodan during the bow. And then Rich and I played other kaiju doing our bow as well. But I don't believe we're specified a specific kaiju. I'm pretty sure on the screen it was Mudo or something, but like I think it was just generic creature bow. And so we did portray them for that moment.
Yeah, so we weren't sure. It's out. My mic is out there. We weren't sure who we were going to play, so we assumed different positions where we would be four,
just crouched,
quadruped creatures, or you would try to do different moves because we didn't know how many were going to end up bowing. So, you're like, Mudo, what do you do? Things like that. So we did play generic monster, not knowing what he was going to put in there.
The suit actors, it's been 65 years of Godzilla in suits. So that informs our movement. We absolutely respect those actors that came before us, and they built Godzilla before we were ever there. And when I say they, I don't only mean the suit actors, I mean the writers that imagined it, the artists that did the concept art, the suit builders, all of those people get mad respect. You probably never think of them, but you guys who cosplay, you understand suit building. You know how hard that is. To make a movie-ready suit is no small feat. And for the actor to get into that, for them to get zipped up and locked in, they're wearing 100, 200 pounds that does not breathe, not even a little bit. A lot of those actors used to pass out while they were shooting Godzilla. So when you see them and you see that posture bent over like this, half of it is, that's the best way they can wear the weight. Yeah, and they're exhausted, and their back is getting tired. So at some point, this became natural. It might have started like this, but with all of that weight on them, at that time, especially before the construction became, better with 3D printing and all of that stuff, the suits were really heavy and uncomfortable. And so when we see that, even though we don't have to wear that same suit, we brought that performance back. So when you're seeing us do that, I'm imagining the dude, and I'm also imagining the real monster. May I?
Yeah.
And it makes sense, right? But that is 60 years of the people before us giving us Godzilla and an awesome legacy that we can watch still today.
Okay.
Last question.
All right, so this one's a bit of a fun one. If you could pick any actor to voice your character or your head, which actor would you pick to voice them?
Us.
Samuel L. Jackson.
On that round, then how about one of the heads to be Jim Carrey?
No, but the last head to be Christopher Walken. Oh my God!
God, I have no idea. I can go with a ridiculous answer, or I can go with a real answer.
Go both, man.
This is
Both. Harrison Ford.
Jeremy Irons.
Wait, how about Clint Eastwood?
Scar. He plays Scar in Lion King. Jeremy Irons as the center man. Or Andy Serkis, because he can just melt into any character. I'm like, that's Andy Serkis? That's Gollum, and that's what? Are you serious? That'd be really funny. It'd be really funny if it was Gollum.
Christopher Walken and Jim Carrey. Battling Samuel L. Jackson.
Clint Eastwood would have been better.
Get your ass back in the ice!
Jack Black.
Clint Eastwood for Godzilla.
Oh, hey, Ghidorah.
Who would you want as the heads?
Oh, God.
As Godzilla.
Clint Eastwood for Godzilla.
Derek, who
Clint Eastwood for Godzilla. That'll be way better than Samuel L. Jackson.
I have no idea.
I'll give you a safe.
The Mallrats crew for
I don't think
Ghidorah.
this movie should be made.
I'm all for it.
Oh,
Although I would like to see it, yeah.
Thank you guys!
I know I've released that panel on the channel before, but that was 4 years ago, so I figured it'd be a fun time to re-release it now and pick my favorite moments for you guys to check out. I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but I definitely do. It feels like to me 2019 was a few, maybe months ago, maybe, and the rest of the 4 years in between were just one big smudge. It was all just one big blur, and I'm out now, and it feels nice. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I've talked to a couple people who do. I don't know if you guys do, but yeah, it's I'm happy to be on the other side of that 4-year smudge. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time for the next one, and thank you to everybody involved in that panel, to the Ghidorah brothers, to TJ, to all of you. See you guys next time for the next one. D-Man out.